Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. This is your friend, actor Sanjay Madhav. I'm. I record these videos because I'm basically trying to save people from learning things the hard way in life, just like I did. That's it. Simple as that. No other ulterior motive. Um, this video, I got all kinds of different topics because I'm multifaceted. You are too. Done many things in life, failed at many things, but I've tried also many things. and and I love to learn, and that's not going to end anytime soon. So I'm going to try and record short a video as I can, but practical advice um, on how to actually. Well, I can't give you a formula, but I'll say this: how to actually improve your chances of becoming an actor in Hollywood, mostly based on what I had to navigate through. I'm not rich and famous. I've been on many TV shows, small roles here and there. Um, I'm not rich and famous, but I've accomplished something, and I'm still on my path towards that, be it acting or be it just making my own films or whatever it's going to be, because that's just, I'm good at it and that's my passion, and I don't need any other reason than that. So here's the thing. I moved to Los Angeles in 2003. Um, First thing I realized is because nobody tells you anything about what you got to do. So you're going to have to learn things the hard way, and hopefully I'm going to save you a little bit of that. First thing you had to do in those days, you still had to get printed headshots. You had to go get hire a photographer, $300, $250 to do a session of headshots. You had to go get that film from them, or later on it became digital, and they'd email it to you, whatever. Then you'd send it to a reprographics place. You'd spend another hundreds of dollars to get a few hundred stack of your headshots, and you'd just start mailing them out to casting directors and things like this. In the process, you also try to get an agent, because the agent gets breakdowns, which are casting notices from the casting directors that are retained by directors to fill these roles. Your agent will submit you, but be very careful. You should never have to pay for an agent. I know people have done this and lost a lot of money. There's a lot of crooks in LA and Hollywood. There's a lot of nice people, but there's a lot of crooks. That is what it is. I personally have had an agent that stole $50,000 from me, and I ended up 5 or 6 years later settling it for like 10 grand. At the time I was living in LA, I could have really used that money. I was supporting a wife, and anyways, so be very careful, okay? You should not have to spend any money to get an agent. They are going to earn money by sending you auditions. If you're doing your job right, because you're trained or you're a good actor, or you're taking classes and you're doing scene study, everyone's different. I did some classes. I don't do anything anymore because I just have enough practical experience at it. But I do recommend for you, take some classes, be around a community of actors as best you can, get into the industry that helps motivate you. You learn scene study, learn audition technique. Now, when I go into auditions, I don't care if they gave me that 2 hours notice and they gave me 2 pages. I'm gonna memorize that before I go into audition. But I'm a professional, okay? I go into audition. Yeah, I don't do the. Ah, yes, it's very interesting. Okay. Well, the medical tests did come in, and they're inconclusive. So I do recommend that we do a little bit more testing. In the meantime, I would like to give you overnight, pick up the line for some more observation, and then slot pick up the line. No, I don't do any of that stuff. I have it all memorized, and I also and I go in there and I perform to the person with the camera, who's usually the casting director's assistant. Or if there's a callback, I might actually be getting a second audition right in front of the director and producer themselves. So, but, and just as an aside, when I do book work, I have everything memorized before I show up on set. Not even my own lines. I have the whole film memorized. But I'm just overachiever in this particular category, okay? Because I'm doing a job and I'm getting paid very paid. I mean, paid very well to do it. So I'm a professional about it. That's as simple as that. And not everyone is. Show up on set of day one, never looked at the line. We'll rehearse it. I'll memorize it after a couple of takes. Fine. I'm not that kind of person. So going back, anyways, to the original point, you need to get an agent. You need to get headshots. Now it's all digital. You can even actually have your agent send you audition requests online. It's changed a lot in the last decade. It's all gone online. You do a self tape at home or in a local studio. You upload it to that site. You're going to have to subscribe to two sites: Casting Networks and Actors Access. Those are the two sites used for casting. Anyone else that says they're a site used for casting is bullshit. Okay, unless you're in Canada. There's another site that they use because I work in Canada also because I'm Canadian citizen. I'm a Canadian citizen, U.S. citizen, also a British citizen. So um, I can work in multiple countries if work is there for me. Now you're gonna have to get an agent. You're gonna have to get in the union. Okay, so I'm a Screen Actors Guild member for about 15 years now. Now this is where it gets tricky. I don't know if the rules still apply, but I had to get in the Screen Actors Guild. I had to work on three guild productions and get these little certificate things, stamps. It's not a stamp of approval, proverbially, to say, okay, now I'm eligible to get into the union. But a lot of time they're like, you're not in the union, so we don't want to hire you. So it becomes a kind of catch 22. Just know that going into it. But if I did it, you can find a way to be resourceful and make it happen. Get in the union. If you're in a place like Austin, Texas, they actually don't use unions um, because they do make movies there. Since so many filmmakers have moved there, so they're non-union. So you won't need to be in a union if you're living there, and in a few other places too. But I'm not going to get into detail about that. Now, what's the advantage of union versus non-union? Well, union. If you're not in a union, non-union means you can get the job. But do you want to work for $50 a day and spend 8 hours? No. Union jobs just are going to pay better. Okay. One day it could be a couple $1,000s right there. If you got a few of those jobs every month, you'd earn a living from it. Easier said than done, by the way. Because it's not like every audition you go on, you're going to book it. Okay. So there's a lot of hustling that needs to go on here. But you got to build momentum because what happens in the entertainment industry is work begets work. What that means is the more work you get, the more work you get because people start seeing you a little bit. Hey, you look familiar. Where do I know you from? Oh, weren't you in that commercial? Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Work begets work. You have to generate momentum. You got to hustle. Get as many auditions as you can. I started doing things like just trying to get a reel developed, doing student films, doing work for free, things of this nature. I'm not today going to do any such things, but I'm not telling you what to do or not to do. If you're starting from ground zero, then you need to get a reel, you need to get a headshots, you need to get an agent, you need to get a union, and now you're in a foundation to actually get auditions, book work, earn money, maybe develop a career out of it, maybe not, um, depending on what your goal is. But that is basically the process that you have to go through. That took me, by the way, about 4 years to learn all of this that was needed. And I'm just mentioning this to you because if you have this dream or desire, I'm trying to save you from wasting money and learning things the hard way because I've already been there and done that. And let's see. I got no script here. So is there any advice I can give you? Um, yes. So what happens in Canada, it's very different. So in Vancouver, usually you'll do a pre-audition, which is ridiculous. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You audition when there's no role even available. It's a whole longer casting cycle. You audition, Then they go, oh, okay, you have some skills. You know how many times someone, a Vancouver casting agent, has told me East Indian actors can't act? Really? 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 Bullshit. 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 Anyways, um, and then they have a say. Then you audition like 3 times. No, I'm about this. This is why I like television over film. Actually, the whole cycle is quicker. Call me in the morning. Give me an audition time for that afternoon or tomorrow. Give me a call back for that same day tomorrow. 2 days later, call me. I booked the job. I'm on set now 4 days after my initial audition, and I'm getting the paycheck 2 weeks later. Okay, that timeline, I like it. Film, nobody's going to say no to film. Slower process. Get the audition. Okay? Maybe we'll call you back next week. Okay? A few days later, you got the job. Okay? We start filming 6 weeks from now. Okay? By the time you get all your money, and everything, that could be anywhere from them paying you something at the time um, that you start working up until the time that you finish filming, and then they process everything to the production company. That could be months. It could be months. For me, again, I just love acting. I'm not saying no to anything, but that's kind of big difference between TV and film. Film is kind of a tediously slow process, and if you're like me, you like to get work quickly, you like to do the work quickly, and you like to get paid quickly. TV has been more beneficial to me in order to accomplish that. So that's the advice that I had to give you. I'm already at 12 minutes here, and I don't like going over 10 minutes on these videos. I'm going to try and figure out a way so that you can post comments and questions. And if you do, I will respond, okay, to give you advice to save you the hassle, time, trouble, money, everything that me and countless thousands and thousands and thousands of other people have been through going through the system. Because it's not like you're going to medical school and you go, oh, okay, here's the protocol. This, get the degree, okay, when you want to become successful in acting, almost anything in the arts, acting, musician, painter, you name it, there isn't a guidebook for you. But I know the process because I've personally been through it. So that's what I'm trying to share with you today. Your experiences are going to be somewhat similar and somewhat dissimilar. If you're starting as a young person today, well, you're definitely not going through all of the showing up to the photographer, getting the headshots, getting the actual printed headshots, spending a fortune on postage, mailing that out to casting directors because it's all gone online. So that's a whole landscape has changed. So this is what I can offer you today. I wish you the best of luck. Fingers crossed for you. Wishing you well. Make your dreams happen.